Good evening and welcome everyone for today's demo session on CCNA training and how exactly we are going to complete and proceed this. You will understand what are benefits you will have after achieving or completing this training, what values it holds in the market, and how exactly you can start your career if you are a fresher in this field. About myself, I hold 10 years of experience in networking domain in which I have worked under different kind of fields, like I worked on a field support to an implementation of network projects, network operations team, tag, design, implementation, and it is still going on. So with respect to certifications, I do have my CCI in enterprise infrastructure. Also, I'm preparing for my CCI in data center. I am a CCNP certified in Encore and data center, as well as I am having my CCNA in routing and switching, which I believe I completed in 2012. So these are some of the skill sets what I hold, and I work on this specific areas on daily basis. For today's agenda, we are going to learn the BGP, Border Gateway Protocol. What are the interesting facts about BGP, the features of BGP, what are autonomous systems, and what are the different types of BGP. So BGP, to give you a brief or in one line, BGP is the protocol which helps us to connect to the internet around the globe. For today, for the CCNS course curriculum, we will be having this kind of 5 topics in which we will be understanding the how exactly are the operations of data network, what are the things under that, what is OSI layer, how exactly the computer networks came into the picture, what is the history behind it. Then we will be covering LAN switching technologies, which will help us to work and understand the different layer 2 technologies in terms of OSI, what exactly and how exactly those work. Then we will be covering the IP routing technologies, which will be moreover related to how exactly the routing works on the layer 3 part, the different kind of routing protocols that we use, same like BGP is one of the protocol which we will be covering today. Then we will be having IP services, like extra features or extra add-ons that are being used in the industry. These IP services will also cover the security part, how exactly we can make our network secure, what exactly different goals we can achieve with that. And then we will proceed with the practice test and interview questions and mock interviews and so on. We will have group discussions on this. About the CCN introduction, this specific course will include what is networking, how exactly we are connected to the world of internet. It will basically, this course will give you to understand the technologies behind internet, how exactly to configure them, to design them, to troubleshoot different type of network devices in terms of routers, switches. With respect to what is when we say CCNA, there are a lot of service providers in the market who will train you on the CCNA, but with respect to this specific course what we have covered, you will have more hands on the labs, which will give you a feel of a lab experiences, as well as you will get an opportunity to log into some real networking devices which are present on internet and can be accessed by anyone. What is CCNA in terms of, it is a certification provided by Cisco, the full form of CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate. So after attempting an exam of CCNA, you can have the CCNA certification. For more details, we have this link in the description which will give us all the details with respect to CCNA. What certification of achievement or completion, which will be like, if you can see in the image, it is a sample which you will get after completing your curriculum. Another random topics under CCNA are moreover OSPF, one of the topics, same like IPv4 we have IP basics, then DSCP, and I will teach you to analyze and utilize all these things in your daily network. Like if you are on computer or in laptop, how exactly you can see the DSCP, how you will see how exactly the DSCP process works. Same way DNS is another technology which is being heavily used on internet, and same I will teach you all these things in depth. In this process, in this we will try to complete different kind of projects, which will be again labs. With respect to every technology, we will try to cover as much as labs possible, because the only thumb rule to mastering something is practicing. The more and more labs you will practice, the more and more expertise you will get, the more confidence you will get to work in a real network or work in a real lab environment, real life environment. The requirement for the CCNA lab setup is moreover, you need to just have a basic understanding of computers. That is enough. i5 processor should be there in your laptop with 4 cores, and 8 GB RAM is enough as of now to work in terms of CCNA. when we will move to CCNP, there will be better requirements, which we will talk in CCNP lectures whenever we start. Additional resources for CCNA related things, you can refer ioc.com as one of the website. YouTube is another way you can go through that, and there are uh, multiple and enough data available on internet to achieve all these things. There are some mock interview questions I prepared with respect to CCNA level, and how exactly are these are type of questions which are being used or asked in the interviews even by myself. With respect to, doesn't matter how many years of experience you have, if your CCNA basics are very clear, you can get hired at any level, provided that you know what you are doing, you know what you are talking in the interview. If you read all these questions, this is moreover like what we ask in a daily manner. Let's start with the technical thing what we spoke earlier, introduction to BGP. What is BGP? What is BGP is the first thing, an exterior gateway protocol which is designed to exchange or exchange the subnets. When I say subnet, it means IPv4 address information among different autonomous systems on the internet. These are the two very important terms in this case. One is autonomous system, second is internet, and third is subnet, which I will explain all these things in detail. If we try to correlate this with real life example, it is a kind of a postal service which is responsible to deliver the letters to the recipients using the shortest path and being in the most efficient and fastest way. So in this case, postal service is a BGP, a letter is something called as prefix or subnet, or routers is something which is a recipient in this case. So if we try to implement it with respect to internet, let's assume that you are a user who is sitting in India and trying to access a website which is present in Singapore at this moment, hosted in Singapore. So BGP will really help us to achieve this requirement. IETF, this is documented under RFC 4271. So there are new words you are going through all the slides. So IETF is in International Engineering Task Force, and under which it is kind of a documentation process which is being followed by the world. So they started this with RFC 1105, and the first use on internet for BGP was 1994. Currently, we are using BGP version 4, which is under RFC 4271. You don't have to mug up or you don't have to remember this numbers. This is just for reference if someone is interested to go and read more about it. And why the reason they changed the RFC number from 1105 to 4271 is moreover because of different kind of corrections they did, and also this specific RFC is in alignment with Cisco common industry practices as compared to the previous one. So the founders of BGP, Yakov Rechter of IBM and Kirk Lohit from Cisco, designed BGP on 3 sheets of paper, which are still present in Cisco's office. These are the 3 papers. If you go through this, if you see, it is still written Border Gateway Protocol napkin. So interestingly, this BGP is also known as two-fold napkin because every paper was folded into two, and it was designed in 1989. And this protocol is helping us to be connected to internet even today. Do you guys have any idea how many BGP routes are present on internet at this moment? Let's check it out. I will go on a live device and then we will check how many routes do we have present. Okay, this is kind of a output, the Border Gateway Protocol Advanced Internet Routing Resources. There are different categories under it. As of now, don't be bothered about much. I will just show you how exactly the things look on live internet router. So I will log into this device. I am into the device now, and I will put your first command probably of your career if you're a fresher. So if you see at this moment we do have 8,38,267 routes present on internet. This is only for IPv4. The value would be different for IPv6. I'll be talking more about IPv4 and IPv6 uh, later on when we will proceed with this course. Also, don't be worried about the different outputs what you are able to see here at this moment. Just check on this path, the state or the prefix received. This is the value. Okay, let's move ahead. What are the different features of BGP? So every human have a features, same way every protocol have a feature. Let's start with first one, path vector protocol. So path vector, when I say path vector, what does it mean? It means if you check in this black snippet on the right side, we have these 3 numbers: 7474, 4826, and 133. So these are specifically the autonomous system numbers about which I will be talking in some time. So it has passed through these three autonomous system numbers. So it got originated in 13335, then it went to 4826, and then it went to came to 7474. It works on TCP port number 179. Again, you are not aware of TCP at this moment, so we will go deeper into that. It sends incremental updates. It have a policy enforcement. So when we say when we say about policy enforcement, it means we can tweak or we can play with the way we want to manipulate the BGP route. It supports CIDR, which is classless interdomain routing, which is kind of a classless subnets. It also supports security in terms of hacking or DDoS attacks that can be saved, and it basically helps us to communicate, to form the communication between different autonomous systems. Till now, I have spoken a lot about autonomous systems. Let's go and check what are the more details about those. So, autonomous systems are nothing but networks of small network. If you can say that, it is moreover in the diagram. If you see AS1, AS2, AS3, AS4, and AS5, these are the five different small networks, and when we club them or combine them together, it has become a big network, which is autonomous system. So how exactly are the more details about that? So if you see here the numbering part, which is AS1, AS2, AS3, AS4, and AS5, these numbers are basically called as autonomous system numbers. So what are the different types of autonomous system number? There are different values to it. Earlier it was 2 byte autonomous system number, then they developed it to 4 byte, and these are the different values under of autonomous system numbers what we are using on internet. There are some private autonomous systems which you can't advertise to internet, and those values are given over here. So what are the different types of BGP? There are two types of BGP. One is IBGP, in which you form the BGP between your own autonomous system. So if you check out the diagram in this case, with the return value AS2, those two routers will form the BGP with each other, which is called as IBGP. And then there is something called as EBGP, which is external BGP, in which the neighborship or the peering is formed between two different autonomous systems number, and they helps us to exchange the prefix. So in this case, let's assume that AS1 is advertising 1.1.1.0/24 towards AS3. That will be achieved with the help of first EBGP, and then eventually it will move on to the next router out the next AS. It will reach to the end destination, in this case, which will be AS3. I hope you like this session, and you will look forward to learn with me.